Good morning, children. It's time for Tricky Word Tuesday again. We're back again. And I don't know whether you know why we learn tricky words, but tricky words are really important for your reading because they help speed it up. If you can see the word and recognise it straight away because you've learnt it by heart, then your reading will become smoother and much more easy. So we really want you to learn your tricky words. I hope you're doing really well at home. So I'm going to take the camera now and I'm going to show you just 3 old tricky words, and I want to see if we can use those later. Thank you, cameraman. And the first tricky word I'm pretty sure you're going to recognise. Excellent. That's the word I. Now you're going to move along. I'm going to do another tricky word. I'm going to see if you can recognise that one. Excellent. That's the word got. And then last of all, this tricky word. This is one of our words that we learnt before the half-term holiday. Quite a tricky word, that one, because if you try and sound it out, it really doesn't make sense. Yeah, oh, ah. No, it's the word you. Well done. Okay, now we're going to move over to the new tricky words that we're going to learn today. So I'm going to move round and we're going to have a look at the first tricky word. And the first tricky word that we're going to learn is the word my. My. Now, my is tricky because the y doesn't make a y sound. It makes an I sound in this word. I. That's not an I, is it? That's a y. My. Only 2 letters, though, so you can remember that one. The next tricky word for today is the word have. Now, the word have, if you do v, that actually does, you can sound that, but then at the end there's an e that we have to remember. There are 4 letters in this word, but the e, you can't sound it, because if you sound it, it doesn't make the word properly. Have e. That doesn't make sense, does it? It's just have. And the last tricky word for today, this one is one of my favourites, because if you learn this one, said, you will see it so many times in the reading books, and if you know it, it will be so much easier for you to read. S-a-i-d. Tricky, because s-a-i-d doesn't really make a word, does it? S-a-i-d. No, it's the word said. The a and the I just make an eh sound. That is weird, isn't it? Said. 4 letters. And you really need to learn this one off by heart. And then when you see it in your reading books, you'll be able to just go, oh, that just says said. And that will be amazing, won't it? Okay, now we're going to play a little game. And we're going to set a timer. And we're going to start with this one. And we're just going to write my as many times as we can before the timer runs out. So, timer starting now. And I'm going to write, whilst the timer's going, I'm going to see how many times I can write my. Yeah, 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 my, my. Oh, didn't quite make that one. Look at that. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 my's, and I nearly managed 6. I wonder how many you will manage in that time. That's amazing. Now, you can try that with all of the different words. You could write have and set the timer again. You could write said and set the timer again. And now I'm going to make a sentence with these words and some of the old words that we had before. I'm going to ask my cameraman to come and hold the camera whilst I put the words into a sentence. Here we go, cameraman. I'm going to take these words and I'm going to move to the, here it is. I forgot where my blue tack was. I'm going to write a sentence and it's going to be over here. So it's going to say, I said have, oh, I need some more blue tack, have, I'm going to move the word got then, have you got, more blue tack, my what? Have you got my, oh, now I'm going to choose this one. Have you got my dog? Have you got my dog? That would be a really long sentence, wouldn't it? I said, have you got my dog? Try making your own sentence at home and have fun with it. Bye for now.